This is the foster room that I had the 7 kittens in, and I thought I would film a tour of this room before I start moving anything out of it.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
So this is a small room. It's only 8 feet wide by 11.5 feet long. This house was built in the 1950s, so back then rooms were a bit smaller, houses were a bit smaller. So this is the smallest room in the house other than the bathrooms. And I was able to successfully rehab 7 cats in this room. When I say rehab, they were all trapped individually, one by one. Every few days I was trapping another cat. I would bring the trap in here, they would spend the night. The next day I would take them to the vet for their spay or their neuter. They would come back, they would spend another night in the trap, and then the following day I would let them out and they could be with their siblings. And so that happened 7 times over the course of a month. Then they spent another month in this room while they were being dewormed. I wanted to make sure they had absolutely no worms, that their stool tested clean before I let them have access to any other part of the house or to any kind of interaction with any of my other cats. So during the time that they're in this room, I made a lot of changes and I basically made it work. And I thought I would show you how I did that. So the door on the left here is the door to the hallway, and then there's another door here, and this is a closet. It's not a large closet. It probably extends maybe another foot this way. It's like an old-fashioned closet, but it is very helpful for storing cat supplies. So I have cleaning supplies in here. I have all kinds of supplies that I use for this room. I'm not going to open it because it is stuffed, like it is full, because it's not just cat supplies for this room. I have all kinds of other stuff in there. I did not have a chance to empty it before all the cats started coming inside, and I didn't want to scare them by emptying all the stuff out while they were inside. So I've just been making do with that. It was not my intention to foster 7 cats in this room. It just happened when the first one escaped from the trap. So then I said, okay, well, if that one wants a chance for an indoor life to be an inside cat, I'll give them all a chance. And that's what happened. So right here is where I have a water bowl, and this is one of those water dispensers. It works really well here because it's close to the entrance door. And so if I need to refill anything, I could do that easily. What I would normally do on a daily basis is I bring in like it's like a shallow tub, and I just empty it into the plastic tub, and then I take the water away, and then when all the water is out of the dispenser, then I take the whole thing out, wash it, refill it, and put it back here. So this was actually just refilled today. Right here I have a little table. This was a later addition to the room because I wanted to bring in a small TV. The TV serves a few purposes. So one of the ways I was training the cats to get used to me is by sitting in this room and watching some TV. So that's why I have the TV. Also, the cats really, really enjoyed watching nature videos on the TV. So that's why I have the TV. And I also had a training video playing on this TV for days. I wanted to teach these cats how to use a cat wheel. And I put together a training video, and I thought, well, maybe by watching the video, they could figure out how to use the cat wheel. So that might have been a success. So this TV actually served 3 purposes. Underneath the table, it fits this cat track. So I just put it there just because it fits, but I've had other toys under there. I'm just trying to make the most efficient use of space. Now this desk was in the room because I was working at this desk. This was like my office room. So this became part of the foster room. I've also used this desk in the past. When Ditto came inside, he had cancer, and I had him in this room for 5 months while we were trying to see if we could find any treatments that worked for him. Unfortunately, we're not successful with that. But I had the desk in here, and it was really helpful because I had all of my cat supplies on top of it. And even now with the foster kittens, when we were in the first 4 weeks of spay and neuter, I had a lot of supplies on top of this desk. It worked really well. Right now I have this cat bed. They love laying on top of it. They love walking on this desk. I have some plants because when Ditto was in here, I bought a bunch of plants to help purify the air for him and to create oxygen in the room. And the cats just really like the greenery. They don't really mess with the plants at all. And I like having the plants here. I also have this little bell. This is like a Tibetan bell. I've had it in here because I was trying to train the cats. Okay, if you hear a bell, then like it's dinner time and stuff like that. So that's why that's there. And then this was like a container of crunchies. And then here I have an LED light at night. It's like a little night light, like a mood light. So this is plugged in to a USB port. And then here I have an Alexa Echo, and that's there for my own entertainment when I'm cleaning the room. Underneath the desk, I have two very large litter boxes with 7 cats in this room. I wanted to make sure I could fit in as many litter boxes as I could, so I have 2 large ones under here, and they have the high-sided walls, which are very, very important in small spaces because it really helps to contain the litter. In front of the litter boxes, I have this grass mat. It's like an artificial grass mat. I get these at Daiso, and they really, really help to stop with litter tracking all over the room. There's still a little bit of litter tracking out, but not as much as it would be without this. They do work really well, even though they're not intended for that purpose. And then on the legs of this table, I have these scratching posts, and the cats like using these, and these are from IKEA. And these are just attached with Velcro. IKEA sells them to put on the legs of these tables. So I have one here, and I have another one there. Again, just trying to maximize on the small space. In this corner, I have the air purifier. So I used to have a smaller air purifier. It was maybe 2/3 the size of this one. And it got to the point where the filter was just so full, and I realized, let me try with a larger one and see how it works. So I have this one here on the floor, and this one works great. It works just as well as the smaller one, if not a little bit better. I keep this on the lowest speed, and for the little one I had it on the medium speed. This one is a little bit louder because it has a much stronger, I guess, motor or fan, but it's not too loud. Right now it's not on, but when it is on, it sounds like a low fan in the background. In the corner there, I have some very narrow shelves that I keep some supplies on, some brushes and stuff. And then right here, I have the little dustpan and brush. I just hang it here because it's really easy to grab it and sweep the floor with it. Litter can sometimes get into places that the vacuum can't reach, or a larger broom might not be able to reach. And that's another thing that I keep in the closet. I keep a large broom and a waste paper basket so I could sweep out the room. So next to the small narrow shelves in the corner, I have this shelving unit, and this is really the only thing in the room that does not need to be here at all. The only reason why it's here is because it's hooked up to the solar panels that are outside the house here, and I can't run the solar wires into any other room. This is the only place to put it. I'm not going to rearrange all of this just because I had some cats in here for a few months. Right now there's one of my solar generators, and then there's another one down there. I have a few others in the house that I moved out of here because I use them in various locations, but normally there will be other solar generators here, and then I hook them up to the solar panels outside, and they're really great to have for emergencies, or they're really great to have just to use in locations where you don't want to run like a large extension cord across a room or something like that. So for example, I work from home and I don't have a separate office because this was my office. So I've been working on my dining room table, and what I'll do is I'll take one of these portable power stations, and I'll be able to like charge my devices on the table. I'll be able to hook up a laptop if I need to, stuff like that. And it's just really, really helpful versus having to run extension cords. So there are 2 windows in this room, and underneath the windows I have these calyx shelves from IKEA, also from IKEA. Now I've had these for a very long time, and They fit perfectly under these windows. They've moved from room to room in my house, and when I realized I was going to be fostering 7 cats in this room, I made sure to bring them both back here for a variety of reasons. And again, these are multi-purpose. So you can see here on the bottom, IKEA sells litter boxes that fit perfectly in these units. The front comes out a little bit more, but side to side, the width is a perfect fit. And the cats do use these. They haven't used them since they've been out of the room, but when they were in the room, they used these. So I had the 2 litter boxes there and the 2 litter boxes there for a total of 4 litter boxes. And if I needed to go away for 24 hours, that was fine. I could leave them here for 24 hours. The 4 litter boxes were fine. If I was not going anywhere, if I was going to be home, I made sure to scoop them twice a day. But if I missed twice a day, once a day was okay. So IKEA also sells these cat bed inserts, which right now I have 4 of them in these cubby holes. And they also sell these cushions that go inside of the cat bed inserts. And they were not the biggest hit with the cats. They were kind of like hit and miss. Sometimes the cats would use them. Most of the time they didn't use them. Sometimes they liked using them without the cushions, which is why 2 of them don't have cushions. Sometimes they like using them with the cushions, and sometimes they would literally pull that unit out and just go into the cubby hole without anything. So that's why that one does not have one of those cubby beds in it. These are also great to store toys, so I have some electronic toys in that one. And then in this one, I have this storage unit, which is what I used to have. I used to have these blue, they're like a cardboard storage unit in all of these, and it would look very neat, and I would have all my office supplies, my work from home supplies in those units, and I had to kind of sacrifice all of that for this foster room to give these shelves to the cats. So that worked out okay. And then in this one right now, I just have some cleaning supplies, some pet wipes, some toys, just some like random supplies for the room in there. So as you can see, these Calyx shelving units are multi-purpose, and of course, I have a runner on top because the cats love sitting on top of this and looking out the window. It's the perfect height for the windows and for them to do that. They sleep on here, they sit on here, they walk on here. It's like a little runway for them, and yeah, these are really, really, really great shelves for a foster room. Another thing that I had to do was get new blinds for the room. So I had to get these cordless blinds, and these are great. You just pull them down, push them up, and there are no cords. The blinds that I had in here when the foster cats first came in had cords. They had really long cords, and the cats were always unraveling them, getting them down. I used to tie them up on top of the blinds, and they would still go after them and get them down. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get the cordless blinds, and these were so much better. So it's really good to have cordless blinds. And then here in the corner I have a cardboard scratcher. They love scratching on these, and I was buying these at Five Below. They were $4.50 each, which is an amazing deal because every other store that I've seen these in, you know, they're at least $10 or more. So to get those for $4.50, that was great. Because after the cats use them for a while, then they get really messy. There's cardboard all over the room, and I like to switch these out pretty often when they really start getting worn out. And the cats do like scratching on these, so that's there in that corner. And then right next to it, I have this cat tree, this cat tower. So this was in here previously. I got this when Ditto was in here, so this is in here way before the foster cats, and all the other cats like sitting on top of this, so I just left it here for the cats. And Sammy especially loves, oh look, Simba's gonna show you. Simba says he is going to illustrate. He'll be the example. Simba says he loves this cat tower because he gets a really good view of the patio, and you can watch the birds and the squirrels. So it's really important to have a cat tower, again, so the cats can scratch on it, they could climb on it, they could just kind of relax and sleep on it. So the cats spend time up here. Sometimes they like sitting on the other levels. I've seen them sit on both of these other levels. That's been great. And then they have this toy. It's really good to have lots of different types of toys for them. There's some catnip toys on the bottom here. There's a boa that they like playing with, and then these are just some blankets. They need to be washed, but these are like Dollar Tree blankets that they like to lay on sometimes. So this is the day sofa, and this has been in this room for years. I think I first got it when Boo was in this room, or soon after he was in this room. This room has been used for quite a few cats over the years with regards to recovery, rehabilitation, that kind of stuff. This is a piece of furniture that I got at World Market, and the reason why I got it is because of its versatility and its compact size. So this piece of furniture can be used in 3 ways. It's kind of like a futon. So it has a back, and then it has almost like a mattress, but it's more like a futon that goes on the frame. And right now this side is up, so it's a chase lounge. This side is flat, the middle's flat, and that side is up, so we have a chase lounge. This side can also come up. When both sides are up, then you have like a love seat or a small sofa. And then when that side goes down, you have a flat bed. So it's really, really versatile, and it's actually really, really comfortable. Like, I can lay down on here and take a wonderful nap, or even I slept on here a few nights, and it's very, very comfortable. These are not the pillows that came with it, and it did not come with the blankets on it. But through the years, I found that with the cats, it's just nice to put some blankets on it to protect the cushion. And this body pillow is from IKEA. It's super soft and comfortable, and the cats like laying in the middle of it. They just love laying in the middle of it. And then these are just 2 other pillows that are more comfortable for me if I'm gonna like lay down on the couch. However, the cats like laying on the pillows also. So this is a really, really great piece of furniture. And one of the most important features of this day sofa is that the cats can go underneath it. It probably has a clearance of, I don't know, maybe like 8 inches. And then once you get past the frame, it's probably like 12 inches in there. But as you can see, there's a cat bed. There's another cat bed. There's a cushion. And I've had all 7 cats hiding under this day sofa. Usually one of the first things that they do when they're released into the room is hide under this day sofa. Ditto spent weeks hiding under this day sofa whenever I was in the room. If I was not in the room or at night, sometimes he would come out and lay on top of it. But for the most part, they love laying under this day sofa, which is why I have these beds underneath it. And these are kind of flat beds. I didn't want beds that were like too tall or just too bulky. And I'm sorry if this is not focusing under there. Sometimes this camera has a hard time focusing under the day sofa. So yeah, the cats spend a lot of time under here. They love it. It's probably one of their favorite places in the room. So that's another really nice feature. And up here on the wall, there is a shelf. Now this shelf was not built for the cats. This was a shelf for me, for my office. But when the cats started jumping up onto the shelf, I was like, okay, I'll empty the shelf and then you could have the shelf. And the cats really like sitting on it. They like laying on it, and they really love walking on it and then taking a flying leap down to the day sofa. They used to love doing that. Right, Simba? Hey, Simba. You tired? And then here in this corner, we have the most recent addition to the room, which is this cat wheel. Now, I've had this cat wheel for so many years. None of my cats would ever use it. I tried training them so much. They would never, ever use it. So I finally said, you know what? Let me bring it up and see if the kittens will use it. I originally had this out in the hallway. The kittens would not use it. So I said, okay, well, let's see if I could fit it in the room, and I was able to fit it here in the corner. It fits actually really nice next to the wall. And I had to lift up this side of the day sofa. Originally I had the day sofa all flat, but I was able to lift this side up, which made room for the wheel. So there's a few inches between the wheel and the day sofa. And the cats actually learned how to use it, or at least two of the cats. Sammy and Richard have used this wheel, and it spins no problem. Sammy loves it. When Sammy's in this room, she really loves the wheel. But when they're not in the room, when they have access to the whole house, they don't go on this wheel. So now that the cats are spending a lot more time downstairs, they haven't used this wheel at all. So I'm actually thinking of bringing it back downstairs, which means I would have to then think about rearranging everything down there again. But I was surprised that this fit, and they actually really liked it. Once they got used to it, Sammy took to it within, I don't know, like a week. And yeah, I was really surprised, and they enjoyed using it, and she was using it every day. I would not even have to try to encourage her to use it. She would just use it on her own, and that was really nice. So yeah, as you can see, pretty much every inch of this room is put to use in some kind of productive way for the cats. And another nice thing when you're dealing with a small space, oh, there goes Simba. Is he gonna go in? No, he came out. Now he's using the scratcher. So another important thing when dealing with small spaces and cats is kind of like multiplying the space or multiplying the surfaces. You know, they have a surface underneath the day sofa. They have a surface on top of the day sofa. They have the surfaces within the cubby holes, and then they have the surface on top of the shelves. They have the surfaces underneath the desk. They have the surfaces on top of the desk. Same thing down here for this little table. So that kind of multiplies the space for them. They'll be like walking all along the top of the surfaces, and then they can utilize the space underneath the surfaces. Same thing for the day sofa. They'll be laying underneath it. They'll be laying on top of it. So it really kind of multiplies the space versus just having like one level or one layer for the cats. And it really helps when you have more surfaces and more levels for the cats, because instead of them all just being like on the floor, which would take up a lot more space, you could have one underneath the day sofa, or two underneath the day sofa, two on top of the day sofa, a cat or two by the windows, maybe in the cubby holes, laying here. There's always someone laying up here, someone playing with toys over here, and they would love playing in this area, of course, on the rug here. This was also a really nice area for them to play. And so for a room this size, I think this was a very efficient use of space for the cats. So I wanted to film this video for anyone who is thinking about fostering cats, or is in a position where they have to foster some cats and they don't have a lot of room. Because I don't have a lot of room. This is a very small room, but I was able to make it work. If you were to tell me a year ago that I was going to have 7 cats in this room, I would have told you, no way, it's impossible. I can't fit 7 cats in this room. This room is way too small. But now that I've done it, I made it work, and I think it worked really well. So I just wanted to film this tour to give you some ideas on how you can maximize space, and how you can save space, and how you can make a small space work for multiple foster cats. So I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you for watching this Lucky Ferals video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you'd like me to post more videos, and please make sure to check out these other videos that were selected especially for you.